3 p.m. around here on your superstation, Joy 99.7 FM. It's not time, drive time with our insurers. And of course, joining me in the studio is my man Andrew Achampong-Kyei from Glico General. Welcome to Drive Time, Andrew.
Thank you.
And how's your day been so far?
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's great to be here. Thank you for having me here.
Welcome to the studios. Now, often you hear people complaining about my insurance company didn't tell me this and that. But, before we start, tell me, today's topic is about utmost good faith.
That is right.
That is right. So people complain about, my insurance company didn't tell me this when they're going for their claim. They say all sort of stories. Now, what is utmost good faith? And what is it that insurance companies mostly fail to tell their clients when they are buying insurance for the first time?
Well, first of all, let me just say hello to all our listeners. It's great to educate you a little bit about utmost good faith.
Yes.
Uberame fide will be the Latin word for utmost good faith.
Please break it down again.
And I know I'll break it down a little. But it's just a simple insurance principle. Mm-hmm. It's a principle that every person that enters into an insurance contract or contract of insurance has a legal obligation. Mm-hmm. It is a legal obligation.
Right. To
act with utmost good faith. And what does that mean? It means simply being honesty on both sides. Mm-hmm. Both sides, i.e. the proposer, the policyholder, or the insured, and also from the insurance company.
Okay.
It's the simple principle that let's deal with fairness.
Right.
Okay? Simple as that. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. And that is utmost good faith. Now, maybe let me just expand upon this legal obligation, because when you talk about utmost good faith, a lot of people say, it's a big word. What does it really mean? I mean, let's just break it down. It's simple. It's not complicated.
Right.
It just means you're taking insurance. You need to give me information. So tell me information that is relevant.
Okay.
Information that helps me assess the risk. And simple. That's it. So the onus is on you, the proposer, and from the insurance company's perspective, it's also an obligation to explain what the person is buying.
Exactly.
So you tell me what the coverage is. Most of the time, we do our best, and the policy terms and conditions will be there. We'll tell you about what the terms and conditions are. We'll tell you what the indemnity principles may be in there.
Right.
And once you know that, at least you know what you're buying. Mm-hmm. So that's essentially it, really.
But what actually do most companies fail to tell them? Because sometimes you have, the buyers or the people coming back and say, you didn't tell me that, I didn't know that. You think that sometimes, some things slip by?
Unfortunately, it's a pity if you don't get to know the information. And it's one of the things that is a key to insurance.
Okay.
You should know what you get into. Mm-hmm. You should know the product you're buying. So, yes, the onus is on the insurance company to explain what the terms and conditions are, what the coverage is. So, especially when you talk of exclusions, and that may be an area where one may not get chance to go through. Yes, you know that you're covering a car for maybe $100,000.
Okay.
You know that it's a comprehensive cover.
Yes.
It's great. But in what event is it not covered? And one would assume that it's a standard principle or common knowledge that if you are drunk and you are driving, then you will not be covered. Or if you decide that you are going to purposely wreck the car and drive into a ditch or into a building, you will not be covered. So sometimes it's the exclusions that maybe for better explanation of a customer would come up to you and say, you didn't explain this to me, but it is common knowledge.
What does the client need to tell the insurance company at the time of buying insurance?
So from the client's perspective, and let's talk, for example, on motor insurance. You're going to insure your car. What would you tell me? What do I need to know in order to insure you? Obviously, I need the details of the vehicle, the make, the model, the engine size, its value. But I'll also be interested in facts that would render the risk greater than normal. So if you're using the car as your private domestic vehicle, the risk there will be lesser than if you were using the car for commercial purpose. You are carrying passengers, and you know how it is. Maybe you're doing a Krakumasi with your urban van.
Right.
That is a commercial activity, and the risk there is much greater because you
Okay.
have passengers in there, and if there is an accident, I would then have to pay for the passengers on board, as opposed to
adult,
if you
yeah.
were just, a single driver driving your personal vehicle and not doing a commercial activity, then the risk is lower. I would also be interested in facts that would explain maybe exceptional the nature of a risk.
Okay.
So if it was your building, and I'll talk about the homeowners package that we have for you later on.
All
But
right.
if you are doing your home insurance and you do bring products from your workplace,
Okay.
or even funds from your workplace, then it means you are saving really in your house. That increases the risk in your house, because if your house was to burn down, maybe on a normal day, on a normal basis, you would not carry so much money. You'd expect that it will go into a bank.
yeah.
So this is basically increasing the risk attached to a private dwelling.
Right. If you just tuned in, it's time with our insurance, and with me is Mr. Andrew Achampong-Kyei from Glico General, explaining what utmost good faith is, and of course, then my next question. They say ignorance of the law is no excuse, and is that the reason insurance companies tend to repudiate certain claims because their clients didn't know about certain facts about themselves, say having a pre-medical condition such as diabetes? If the insurance did not know about that.
Yeah, that's delving into health insurance or life insurance. That is.
Okay.
But again, I would say no. Insurance is not meant to, as it were, for lack of a better word, choke you if you didn't disclose a diabetes, for example.
Okay.
On the proposal form, when you are acquiring the policy, you would explain or fill out details about yourself.
Okay.
Now, diabetes is a chronic condition. We haven't found a cure for diabetes yet.
Yeah.
So if you know you have diabetes, it means that you are basically getting medical care throughout your life. You are buying drugs all the time. You are going to the hospital all the time. And as a result, the risk attached to you as an individual with diabetes would be higher than a normal person
Yeah,
who has
that's
not got diabetes.
Right.
So this information would be necessary or important for the insurer to know, because they would then maybe apply a higher rate in your premium, and therefore say, yes, we have covered you.
The figure changes there.
The figure will change. Yes, we have covered you for diabetes or a
Right.
chronic condition that you may have. Now, if you decide not to disclose it, on the other hand, then at the tail end, when there is a claim, the insurer has the right to say, you were supposed to. I asked you in the proposal form, do you have a pre-existing condition?
And
You
that-
said no.
and that goes against
And
you.
that would go against you. So be honest. Be honest.
So is
Disclose it.
the insurance company obliged to tell the client everything about a policy?
Well, yes and no. Once you're doing insurance, obviously, the policy content
Right.
basically explains all the terms and conditions in there. It explains the coverage of the policy.
Okay.
And indeed, we would explain that to you. Once you are engaging a customer, you would explain your product. You would explain its coverage. You would explain the exclusions.
Right, right.
But sometimes the client will say, hey, I'm aware. I've always been doing my insurance, so I know what it's about. Just, do
Go
it for me
ahead.
quick. Let's complete this
And some
move on.
information may go
And
unnoticed.
in that instance, that information may not be explained.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you do have the policy document, and it has all the information there.
Right.
If you do not get chance to read it, or for whatever reason you do not understand the thing, you can always call us, and we would be more than happy to explain
that
the
to you.
coverage in there and what the terms are, amongst others.
Sometimes insurance companies use agents to go around, to try and get clients and all. And some say, they don't tell the clients the truth. What happens to a client if he falls in the hands of such an insurance agent?
Well, the insurance company, simply put, will be liable. It's one of the major issues or concerns when it comes to insurance products.
Okay.
And the onus really, it's on the insurance company to ensure that its agent, who is transacting business on its behalf,
Right.
knows about the product and is able to then explain to clients. So you do not want an issue of mis-selling. You want to be able to explain that this is the policy, this is the coverage, this is what you're being covered for. And as a result, if there is a claim, then the insurance company, hands up, pays for that claim.
Liable.
Exactly. They will be
Wow.
liable. So there's a duty of care that the insurance company has in this instance to make sure that its agents are doing the right thing.
Right.
So it calls for a lot of training of the agents, and also to getting the clients to also understand
Understand.
that at the end of the day, if an agent has sold you something, you also have an obligation to read about it. And again, you have the policy document, so please do cross-check.
Before you sign anything.
Once you sign up, you know you have a policy.
All right. We learned a lot today about Utmost Good Faith with Mr. Andrew Achampong-Kyei from Glico. Of course, before you go, of course, I know you're representing Glico. No, anything new from Glico?
Indeed. You might have seen over the season a lot of our agents and our staff on the roads with the homeowners t-shirts. We have launched our homeowners campaign.
Okay.
And we have our homeowners policy. It's a lovely package for all homeowners. If you're renting, you can also do it, and it's basically covering you for the building and contents.
Okay.
And for as little as 54 pesos a day, you can have insurance. People generally
54 pesos a day.
54 pesos only. People generally think that home insurance is very expensive because my car costs this much and it's 100,000 and I pay so much for it.
Right.
But in actual fact, it's much cheaper. Much cheaper. For as little as even 200 Ghana cedis, you can get a homeowners covering you for 100,000 Ghana cedis, that is. So there is the offer, and let me just mention our customer service hotline, which is 020 2222 113.
Right.
2222 113. There's also the 020 2222 265.
Okay.
And if you were to get in there right now, you're going to get a nice offer, a package for you for your homeowners insurance policy.
Wow. So you listen out there. There's a lot going on. Don't miss out on that one. Thank you very much for educating us, Andrew, and you have a lovely, lovely day. This is